They never thought your silence could be this powerful, chosen one. They never imagined that the absence of your voice, your energy, your presence would leave them gasping for air. But here they are, lost, confused, and restless because they can no longer feed off your light. You see, your presence was their fuel. Even those who betrayed you, lied to you, and mistreated you still needed you more than they ever admitted. They took you for granted, assuming you would always be there, always willing to help, always ready to offer your wisdom and your love. But now, as you walk in silence, as you choose peace over chaos, as you embrace solitude instead of seeking validation, they are breaking in ways they never thought possible. God saw what you couldn't. He saw the hidden intentions, the whispered conversations behind your back, the envy disguised as friendship, the deceit covered in fake smiles. You trusted them. You gave them pieces of your soul, thinking they valued you the way you valued them. But God knew better. He knew their hearts were not pure, that their loyalty was conditional, that they only stood by your side as long as they could benefit. That's why He removed you, not as a punishment, but as protection. He saw the battles ahead, the secret betrayals that were planned, and He stepped in before they could destroy you. Now, as you stay silent, as you withdraw your energy, they are left to face their own emptiness, and it terrifies them. They thought they were strong, that they were the ones in control. But your absence has exposed the truth. They were always leaning on you, feeding off your strength, stealing from your light to cover their own darkness. Without you, they feel weak. Without you, they feel lost. And the worst part? They don't even know how to fix it. They are trying, chosen one. Oh, they are trying so hard to act unbothered, to pretend like your silence doesn't affect them. They post on social media, smiling in pictures, acting like life is perfect. But behind closed doors, they are restless. Their minds are filled with regret, with what-ifs, with desperate attempts to fill the void that your absence has created. Some of them will even try to reach out, not because they truly miss you, but because they need your energy to survive. But this time, you won't answer. This time, your silence will be the loudest message they have ever received. Your silence is forcing them to face themselves, and they don't like what they see. When you were around, they could project their insecurities onto you. They could use you as a distraction from their own internal chaos. But now they are left alone with their thoughts, and it is eating them alive. The guilt, the shame, the realization that they pushed away the one person who genuinely cared, it is unbearable for them. You see, chosen one, your presence was a blessing they never acknowledged. You were the light in their darkness, the calm in their storm, the wisdom in their confusion. But instead of cherishing you, they drained you. They took your kindness for weakness, assuming you would always be there, always giving, always sacrificing. But God saw the pain they caused you, and He decided enough was enough. He pulled you away, not to punish them, but to teach them a lesson they will never forget. Now they sit in the silence, and it is suffocating them. They replay old conversations, wishing they had listened more. They revisit memories, wishing they had treated you better. They watch you from a distance, wondering if they will ever get another chance. But deep down, they know the truth. Your silence is permanent. You are no longer available for manipulation, for draining energy, for being used. And that realization, it is killing them inside. Stay silent, chosen one. Let them wonder. Let them sit in the regret. Let them feel the weight of losing someone they should have cherished. Because the truth is, they needed you. And now they are drowning in the reality that they never truly appreciated what they had until it was gone. The silence is louder than they ever imagined. Chosen one. It echoes in their minds, haunts their hearts, and wraps around them like a heavy weight they can't shake off. They never thought your absence would feel this unbearable, but now, with every passing day, They realized just how much they needed you. They didn't just lose a friend, a lover, a guide. They lost a connection to something greater. You were their light, their balance, their safe space, and now, without you, they are unraveling. They try to distract themselves, to fill the void with temporary pleasures, meaningless conversations, and shallow connections. But nothing feels the same. Nothing gives them the comfort that your presence once did. They may laugh in public, put on a brave face, pretend like everything is normal. But in the quiet moments, when the world slows down and they are left alone with their thoughts, the truth hits them like a storm. They lost you, and there is no replacing you. Some of them are in denial, convincing themselves that they don't care, that your silence means nothing. But even in their arrogance, they feel it. They scroll through old messages, debating whether to reach out. They type and delete over and over again, knowing deep down that no words will ever undo the damage they caused. They know they betrayed your trust, drained your energy, took you for granted. They know that if they had treated you right, you would still be in their life. But now they are left with nothing but regret. God removed you for a reason, chosen one. He saw what you didn't. He saw the fake love, the hidden jealousy, the secret conversations behind your back. He saw the energy vampires disguised as friends, the manipulators who only wanted you for their own benefit. And so, he took you away, not to hurt you, but to heal you. He placed you in solitude, not as a punishment, but as a protection, because you were never meant to be drained, to be used, to be surrounded by people who didn't truly value you. And now they are suffering the consequences. They thought you were replaceable, that they could move on without feeling your absence. But the truth is, there is no one like you. No one with your heart, your wisdom, your light. No one who truly understood them the way you did. And now, as they watch you grow in silence, as they see you glow from a distance, they are drowning in the realization that they lost something priceless. They wonder if you ever think about them, if you feel the same emptiness that they do. But what they don't know is that you have found peace in your solitude. You have embraced the silence, turned inward, and discovered a power within yourself that they never wanted you to see. They expected you to break without them, to crumble under the weight of your loneliness. But instead, you have risen, you have healed, you have become untouchable. Your silence is not weakness, it is your greatest power. It is a reminder that you no longer need validation, that you are no longer available for manipulation. It is proof that you have stepped into your divine purpose, that you are walking with God, that you are no longer bound by the toxic cycles of the past. And that realization, it is driving them insane. They want access to you, but the door is closed. They want your energy, but you are no longer offering it freely. They want your presence, but you have become a mystery they can no longer solve. And that, chosen one, is what kills them the most. They thought they had control over you, that they could hurt you and you would always come back. But now they see the truth. You were never theirs to control. Some of them will try to come back, pretending they have changed, acting as if they finally see your worth. But be careful, chosen one. Many of them don't miss you. They miss what you did for them. They miss the way you made them feel, the way you carried their burdens, the way you poured into them even when they had nothing to offer in return. But you are wiser now. You have seen their true nature, and this time they will not have the chance to drain you again. Let them suffer in your silence. Let them feel the weight of losing someone who was never meant to be taken for granted. Because the truth is, they needed you far more than you ever needed them. And now, as you walk away in peace, as you rise into your purpose, as you embrace the path God has set before you, they will be left to deal with the emptiness they created for themselves. Your silence is their greatest punishment, and no matter how much they pretend, no matter how loudly they try to prove they don't care, deep down, They know the truth. Losing you was the worst mistake they ever made, and now they must live with that reality forever. But now, Chosen One, your silence has become a storm they never saw coming. At first, they brushed it off, convinced that you would return, that you would reach out like you always did. They assumed that time would bring you back, that your heart would soften, that the cycle would continue. But this time, something shifted. You didn't come back. You didn't explain. You didn't justify. You simply vanished from their world, and that silence has become their torment. They can't escape it. Every moment without you is a reminder of how much they took you for granted. At first, they pretended not to care. They acted as if losing you was no big deal. They laughed it off, thinking you were just being dramatic. But deep down, in the quiet moments when no one is watching, the truth is suffocating them. They feel the weight of your absence pressing down on their chest like a boulder. The realization is hitting them like a tidal wave. They lost something they can never replace. Your silence has stripped away their illusions. They see now that you were the anchor, the stability, the wisdom in their chaos. They never admitted it before, but you were the one who brought light into their darkest hours. You were the one who held them together when everything around them was falling apart. And now, they are lost without you. They can feel the emptiness swallowing them whole. Their pride won't let them say it, but in their hearts, they are screaming for you to return. But you won't. You see, Chosen One, your silence is not just an absence. It is a declaration. It is a statement that you refuse to be used, manipulated, or drained any longer. It is proof that you have stepped into your divine power, that you are no longer at the mercy of those who only saw your worth when it was too late. God has removed you from their midst for a reason. He saw what you couldn't. He heard conversations you didn't. He knew the true intentions of those who smiled in your face but secretly envied your light. Now, they are the ones suffering. They are the ones feeling abandoned, lost, and confused. The same people who ignored you, mocked you, and underestimated you are now realizing that they needed you more than you ever needed them. They are replaying every conversation, reading through old messages, reminiscing about the times they could still hear your voice. They wish they could turn back time, undo the damage, rewrite the ending. But it's too late, and here you are, Chosen One, thriving in your peace, glowing in your divine favor, untouched by their regrets. You have outgrown their chaos. You have ascended beyond their reach. You are no longer bound by their negativity, no longer trapped in cycles of pain and disappointment. Your silence is your power. It is your shield. It is your victory. They thought you needed them. They thought you would always be there, waiting, forgiving, accepting the bare minimum. But God has shown you who you are. He has revealed your worth, your strength, your destiny. And once you see it, you can never unsee it. Once you step into your power, you can never return to who you used to be. So let them suffer in your silence. Let them feel the loss, the regret, the emptiness. That is their lesson to learn. That is their burden to carry. You, Chosen One, have no reason to look back. Your silence is not punishment. It is protection. It is God's way of telling you that you are too valuable to be in spaces that do not honor you. And as they search for you in the places they never appreciated you, as they scramble to fill the void you left, they will realize the truth. They will come face to face with the truth of their own actions, their disregard for you, their failure to see your worth. The same people who dismissed you are now begging the universe for a chance to change the course of their mistakes. But it's too late. For you, Chosen One, have already moved forward. God's plan for you is far greater than any regrets they will ever have. You are no longer trapped by their neediness. You are not going back to the person who waited in silence for their validation, approval, or affection. You are not returning to the version of yourself that tolerated their disrespect, their betrayal, their inconsistency. You are now standing in the light of divine revelation. You are walking in the fullness of your purpose. You have embraced your divine calling, and as you do, they feel the heat of your absence, the sting of their neglect. What they didn't understand when they still had you is that you were always their blessing, the one person who stood by them through thick and thin. You were the constant, the stability, the one person they could rely on. And now that you've chosen to walk away, they realize they've lost the very thing they needed to keep them grounded. Your absence has become their lesson, and in that silence, you have found your freedom.